Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live here in the city of Memphis, the state of Tennessee, in the county of Shelby. And today's date is early Sunday morning, January the 11th, 2015, the time 3:05 a.m. And my date today's video and yesterday's date will be Saturday, January the 10th, 2015. I want to first say thank you to all my fans, my supporters, for your continued encouragement and support. I'm continuing to keep myself employed at a company here in the city of Memphis, state of Tennessee, right here in the county of Shelby, called Ameripride. It's right there on the corner of Vance Avenue and Walnut Street. And I'm continuing to further my education at Monroe College online. I'm pursuing my associate's degree in business administration with a concentration in marketing. And as of right now, last week started my second year at Monroe College, and I'm in the process of going through the winter semester. And this semester, start back my IT class and composition and literature. And but I wanted to make sure I let my fans know. You'll be happy to know, for all my fans, my supporters, when I informed you that I had contacted my attorney about One Sound Studio. You know, studio I went to record my music at. I had already bought some music back in May of 2014, and then this past October 2014, I went to the studio with the lyrics to the music, to one copy of the music, not all the music, but just it's like three copies of music on the CD. So I did the first copy of music. I added the lyrics to it. Then I went to One Sound Studio. Went back to One Sound Studio October, this past October 2014, and recorded. And as I informed you, when I went there that day, I had paid One Sound Studio in cash to record my music, and to also have myself being videotaped while I'm in the booth, paid for that. Then I took some pictures, paid for that in cash, and didn't receive no receipt. Then I came back in the second week, the second Saturday in November of 2014 to finish taking pictures. Then on that day, I also was referred by One Sound Studio to Wicked Films to do a music video. Some dude, some cat named Luga. Well, we shot the video and everything across the street, in the building across the street is Metro 67, right there on front street downtown. And did the first video shoot. What was that? That third Saturday of November. All this was done before Thanksgiving. And then that next Saturday, did the other half of the music video in the same building, and paid him cash because I gave him $100 down payment up front. And then that first day of the music video, I gave him another $200 cash. Then the last day of the music video shoot, I gave him another $150 cash. No receipt whatsoever. No receipt. So they think they smart because you give a person some cash, but they don't give you no receipt. So they make them smart, make you stupid. Well, my attorney this past week got in contact with me and brought it to my attention and informed me that One Sound Studio contacted my attorneys and called the attorneys out. So my attorney is on the job. So I'm gonna get back in contact with my attorney. I called my attorney back and left a message for my attorney, but my attorney contacted me to let me know that One Sound Studio had called up they called the office. So my attorney is on top of this. I'm staying in contact with my attorney. Like I told, One Sound Studio ain't stole no penny from, not one penny from me. And that we can film that Luger, you didn't get away with stealing no money from me, no $450. No, when it's all said and done, you're gonna pay me every penny that you owe me and some. They go for you and One Sound Studio. You're gonna pay me everything you owe me and some. And on today's video, not gonna be long because it's in the middle of the night, early in the morning, and I apologize. That was my mistake. Wasn't intentional, but I was moving slow around the house. But like I said, we're gonna each and every time we ain't gonna never stop advancing African traditional religion, West African traditional religion. Let's get to it. First thing we know, we're gonna go to the website National Open University of Nigeria online courseware. And like we been saying, for all those listening, everybody that's living over here, all the people of African descendancy, whose ancestors were from the continent of Africa, and being more specific, sub-Saharan Africa, West Africans, Bantu, get in contact with the West Africans, get in contact with the Bantu, and instead of learning about how to be in a gang, a street gang, learn how to be West African, learn how to be Bantu. Okay, we over here on the National Open University of Nigeria online courseware, and we're gonna go through this. All right, we got religion and society. CTA 001, we're gonna study Introduction to the Study of Religion. CTA 003, so you have to study religion. And remember we were talking about religio. Introduction to Philosophy, CTA 009. Philosophy of Religion, CTA 043. Then we got Introduction to Linguistics 1 and Introduction to Linguistics 2. And that's LIN 111 and LIN 112. It's very significant. Because when you be on this online courseware, you see all this so-called, what they call it, Islam stuff. When you study linguistics 1 and when you study linguistics 2, the Afro-Asiatic language, and they sit around trying to tell you the definition of Islam, then you're going to translate it into the various West African languages and Bantu. And you're going to sit up here and try to tell somebody that's right. Well, whatever you say. Introduction to Sociology, CSS 111. Introduction to Psychology, CSS 152. Introduction to okay, what's the Introduction to Psychology, CSS 121. Introduction to Philosophy, CTH 131. Introduction to African Traditional Religion, CTH 192. The Introduction to the Study of Religion, CTH 173. Then you have religion and society, CTH 151. See, all this important. See, when you talk about the Afro-Asiatic language, see, you go all the way back to the Hebrews, and they trying to teach you about the flood, Noah, trying to teach you about Adam and Eve. Then they're trying to tell you about Abraham came from uh, from the Chaldees over there in Iraq. Them Afro-Asiatic. They Afro-Asiatic. That's the Aramaics. Then all that Freemasonry, all that secret society stuff be included in all that. Then they started trying to tell you about a prophet and all this. Name what was it? Behind Abraham came Moses, and then uh, in the New Testament they put they went from speaking Hebrew to speaking Greek. You understand? Philosophy of religion, CTH 233. Language and society, ENG 251. Okay. Introduction to Sociology 1, NSS 217. Sociology of Religion, CTH 352. Introduction to Semantics, ENG 331. Psycholinguistics, ENG 491. Okay, so I missed one of them. So, African traditional religion and culture. CTH 491. Theology of African traditional religion. CTH 792. Okay, let's start screwing down. But like I said, I recommend that all the people in the Western Hemisphere and all those um, individual persons or people who ancestors of African ancestry, your ancestors from the African continent, specifically sub-Saharan Africa, Niger Congo on the east coast of Africa, living in the Saudi Peninsula, living in Iraq, Iran, living in West Asia, living in Central Asia, living in South Asia, living in East Asia and Far East Asia, get in contact with the West Africans, get in contact with the Bantu, and that goes for the West African people living in the Western Hemisphere. Okay, who was sent, whose ancestors were sent from the African continent to the Western Hemisphere, which being North America, Mexico, Central America, South America, the Caribbean, sent here as slaves, and from the west coast of Africa, being specific, that's sub-Saharan Africa, uh, get in contact with the West Africans, get in contact with the Bantu, and learn West African culture, learn Bantu culture, learn. You know, so they over here trying to teach you, trying to teach people to be in a street gang called the Blood Street Gang and the Crip Street Gang, and they know a bunch of followers out there in Los Angeles, California. They follow behind the street gangs in Chicago, Illinois, uh, the My People street gang and the Folk street gang, and you know, we're gonna go to the languages. We're gonna start out with the Afro-Asiatic language. We're going online, and when I be on the desktop, it always every time I go into search, it start out with like Google or something. Then next thing come up Wikipedia. My laptop, it'll do the same thing. It ends up starting out with Google, and then it ends up being Bing, which is Microsoft. So we're gonna go online, Afro-Asiatic language. That's what they speak. They speak the Afro-Asiatic language. The Semites gonna try to tell you that the Hebrews and now the Afro-Asian. Make sure when I get this microphone. Now the Afro-Asiatic mean the Berber, the Chadic, the Cushite, the Egyptian, the Omatic, and the Semitic. Let's start with the Semitic. The Semitic language is Amharic, the Hebrew, Tigrinya, Aramaic, and Arabic. The Canaanite language is the Israelites and the Phoenicians, the Amorites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, and the Edomites. Now the Phoenicians is extinct, and their dialect is the Punic. That's extinct. The Hebrew Ammonite is extinct. Moabite is extinct. Edomite is extinct. Biblical Hebrew that's extinct. Tiberian Hebrew, Mizrahi Hebrew, Yemenite Hebrew, Sephardic Hebrew, Ashkenazi Hebrew, Mishnaic Hebrew, Medieval Hebrew, Hashkale Hebrew, the modern Hebrew, Israeli Hebrew, ancient Samaritan Hebrew, and Samaritan Hebrew. And Hebrew is a Semitic language. And the Semitic is an Afro-Asiatic language. We over here in Arabic. Arabic is a Semitic language. Now, the Arabic usually designates three main variants: Classical Arabic, Modern Standard Arabic, and Colloquial or Dialectical Arabic. And you know something about all they like, they got all this doggone handwriting. All the handwriting, they gonna tell you that the language and then all these lines that they draw, this is supposed to mean that. But the Hebrew that you see in the Bible, that God told send his prophet with this alphabet, all this writing with a line. Amharic is a Semitic language spoken in Ethiopia. It is the official working language of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. And it says, about the alphabet, the Giaz, and like I say, Amharic is a Semitic language, and Semitic language is an Afro-Asiatic language. And the people that living in Jamaica, uh, with them study circles down there, that Rastafarian, you need to get in contact with the West Africans and learn West African culture, because the Amharic language and the alphabet, and talking about Haile Selassie in the 1960s came and visited the island of Jamaica. You need to study, and you need to get a study circle on West African language and culture. Talking about no Rastafari and all this. And then trying to learn the Gilead script, but you don't know anything about the West African culture. You don't know anything about the Bantu, and your ancestors are Bantu. Tigrinya is an Afro-Asiatic language. Along in Afro-Asiatic language, is a Afro-Asiatic belong to the Semitic branch. It is a Semitic language. Tigrinya is a Semitic language. And the people of Eritrea is an African nation uh, right close to Ethiopia called Eritrea. The people that's in Eritrea speak the Tigrinya, the official language. It said that The Tigrinya retained the status of working language in the in the country of Eritrea, the only state in the world today to award Tigrinya recognition on a national level. That's Tigrinya. All right. Aramaic. Aramaic is a family of language dialects belonging to the Semitic family, language family. And the Semitic family is an Afro-Asiatic language. And Aramaic is broken down into three broad periods: the Old Aramaic, the Middle Aramaic, and the Modern Aramaic. Then we have okay, those all those were Semitic. Like we go into the Omatic. Now the Omatic is the Afro-Asiatic language spoken in Ethiopia. And it said the Ghian script is used to write some of the Omatic language. Then they use the Latin alphabet for some of the others. Now, the North and South Omatic branches are universally recognized. Then that's the Omatic. Then you have the Egyptian. It's the oldest known language of Egypt and a branch of the Afro-Asiatic language family. It said that the scholars grouped the Egyptian language into six major chronological divisions: Archaic Egyptian language, Old Egyptian language, Middle Egyptian language, Late Egyptian language, Demotic Egyptian language, and Coptic Egyptian language. And then you have the Cushitic language. The Cushitic is a branch of the Afro-Asiatic language family, spoken in the Horn of Africa, Somalia, Eritrea, Djibouti, and Ethiopia, as well as in Sudan and Egypt, and in some parts of the Great Lakes, Tanzania, and Kenya. It says the Cushitic language are usually considered to include the following branches: Bayer, North Cushitic, Central Cushitic, with Agar, Highland East Cushitic, Sidamic, and then Lowland East Cushitic, Dudley, and South Kush. The Chadic. The Chadic language are a branch of the Afro-Asiatic language family and spoken in parts of the Sahel, and then include Nigeria, southern Niger, southern Chad, Central African Republic, and northern Cameroon. It says that there are variety of branches of the Chadic language. You got West Chadic, two branches: A, the Hase, the Ron, Boli, and Angus language, and B, the Badi, Wajak, and Zar languages. Then you have Bu, Adare, Mandare, which is Central Chadic, three branches: A, the Bure, the Kanwi, and Bete; B, Badume, and Musbu, and C, Gadar. Then you have the East Chadic. It had two branches: A, the Tumac, then Siri and Kire. Then the B, Dangliad, Makulu, and Socorro. Then you have Maysay. Then you have the Berber. The Berber language or dialects are a family of similar closely related language and dialects indigenous to North Africa. They are spoken by large populations in Algeria, Morocco, Libya, Tunisia, and northern Mali, Niger, northern Burkina Faso, Mauritania, and the Siwa oasis of Egypt. Now, the six major varieties of the Berber are the Shiahit, Kabyle, Atlas Tamizite, Riffian, Shawi, and Tuareg. And for future reference, when you talk about the Moors, let's go there. There was something I wanted to point out on the Moors. You see, the Moors were the medieval Muslim inhabitants of the Maghreb, the Iberian Peninsula, Sicily, and Malta. Now, let's go to the etymology. It was said, okay, that's what I'm looking for right there. Now, when you talk about a Moor, I'm on Wikipedia, Moor, Moor. When it comes to ethnicity, it said Moors, medieval Muslim inhabitants of the Maghreb, the Iberian Peninsula, Sicily, and Malta, and also the Moro people, an autonomous Muslim people in the Philippines, Sri Lankan Moor, a minority ethnic group in Sri Lanka, Morocco, a Muslim minority ethnic group in India, Moorish American or Moor, an African American Muslim ethno-religious group. So when you say a Moor, they tell you who the Moors are. They just got to tell you who the Moors are. Moor, Moor. Now let's go to the Nilo-Saharan. We on Wikipedia. The Nilo-Saharan language are a proposed family of African languages spoken by some 50 million people, mainly in the upper parts of the Chari and Nile rivers, including historic Nubia, north of where two tributaries of the Nile meet. Tributaries of the Nile meet. Said, northern half of Africa from Algeria to Benin in west, from Libya to the Democratic Republic of Congo in the center, and from Egypt to Tanzania in the east. It says the major language within the Nilo-Saharan language are a number of languages with at least a million speakers. From the start with the Luo, the Dulo language of Luo, Kenya's third largest ethnicity after the Niger Congo, Kikuyu, and Lue. The term Luo and Dulo, Kanuri, including Kanimbu around Lake Chad, then the Songhay, most of the Zame, around the Niger River in Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, the Songhay Empire. Tiso is related to the Maasai, the Nubians, that's in southern Egypt, and northern Sudan. Lubare, including Arenge, which is low Lubare, is included. That's around Uganda and the Congo. Kalenjin, including Nanda and Pokat. Lango, which is a Luo language. The Dinka, that's in South Sudan. Acholi, that's a Luo language around Uganda. The Maasai, mostly in Kenya. In Gambe, that's around Sudan, southern Chad. The Nua, the Fur, and the Tubu. It's around Nigeria, Niger, Chad, the Libya, most Tubu speakers, northern Chad, and they got two dialects, Tazage and Tazage and Tidage. And all those were the Nilo-Saharan language. Okay. Now we're going to the Niger, Congo, A and B. Say the Niger Congo language constitutes one of the world's major language families in Africa, largest in terms of geographical area, number of speakers, and number of distinct languages. Now, I'm scrolling on down. Now, the traditional branches and major languages of the Niger Congo family are the Kordofanian language, spoken in southern central Sudan around the Nube Mountains. The Mandi, spoken in West Africa, includes Bambara, which is spoken in Mali, as well as Soniki, language in Mali, also in Senegal and Mauritania. The Ijaw in Nigeria, including Ijaw and Defake. And Dogon, spoken in Mali. Atlantic, include Wolof, spoken in Senegal, and the Fule, a language spoken across the Sahel. The Kru, spoken in West Africa, including BT, and Yahweh, and Dade. Sinufo, spoken in Ivory Coast and Mali, and in Ghana, including Senari and Sutyari. The Ger languages include Moor and Burkina Faso. Adamawa language including Chambe and Cameroon. Ubangi language, Sango and Central African Republic. The Kway includes Akan and Ghana. Volta Niger, which is West Benue, Congo. That includes the GB language spoken in Ghana, Togo, Benin, and Nigeria, which is Iwi, the Yoruba, and Igbo, spoken in Nigeria. Then you have your East Benue, Congo, which is your Bantu family. Swahili, Fang, Congo, Zulu, and many other languages in Central and Southern Africa. Now, it says here, the quarterfinal, I'm over here where it says Niger Congo language, subgroups, and number of speakers. The quarterfinal branch language, the Mandi branch, Bambara, Manike, Mende, Soniki, Dan, Jole, Mandinka, Susu, Tapeli. The Atlantic branch, Full, then you have your Dogon, then you have your Ajor, Azon. Now your Volta Congo language is a North Volta group. That was the crew. Then you have your Ger language, which is more Masi. Then you have your Sanufo, Sibare, Mamare, Subyari, which is Sanufo. Then you have your Adamawa, Mamuyi. This is your Adamawa Ubangian group. Mamuyi, Njibake, Sango, Zandi. Then you have your Kway language, Akan, Ashanti. Then you have your Iwi. Then you have your Bali. You have your Fon, the Gate Dangmi, and then your Anyin. Your West Benue Congo, Yoruba, Edo, Igbo, and Nu, and then Idome. That's the West Benue Congo. Then you have your okay, now you're getting into your East Benue Congo language. Your Plateau, your Kokor, Kaji, Biron, Tayrock. Now those are the Plateau. Those are the Plateau. Then you have your Cross River, Abibo, and Efik. Then you have your Northern Bantor, Decord, Mambalord, Takarod, and Jerrold. Then you have your Southern Bantor, Southern Bantor. That's the reason why we be talking about the Bantu migrating from the north, from West Africa, from the north. Listen to what listen to what I'm saying. Listen to this. Southern Bantor, which is the Bantor language. So you got the Bantor cross languages. Then you got the Bantor language. Then you got the Southern Bantor. So this is what, okay, the Tiv, T-I-V, Tiv, Ecor, the Grass Fields language. Then you have also there's Southern Bantor, BT, Fang, Lingale, Gikuyu, Kambe, Gusi, Miru, Sukume, Inyawisi, Swahili, Gogo, Hatube, Luande, and Bundu, Congo, Yake, Ganda, Chiga, Inyankore, Soga, Heye, Luyi, Nanda, Rande, Rundi, Hey. Then you have your Lube, Sangi, Tange, Inyakusi, Ngandi, Inyanje, then Tambuke, Sine, Makawi, Yao, Ngulu, Makandi, Mbandu, Hiriro, Shone. Then you have your Indau, Northern Soto. Then you have your South Soto, which is Pida. Then you have your Tiswane. You have your South Indabili, Loza. Then you have your North Indabili. You have your Zulu, Hosei, Swazi, Tisange, Tiswe, Range, Chopa, and Bende. But when you look at this map, you need to pay close attention to what it's telling you about the Volta Congo language. There's a line right there where it says Ijoy. There's a line right there because that's the Ijoy. Because you got your Kordofan branch, then you have your Mandi branch, then you have your Atlantic branch, then you have Dogon, then you have your Ijoy, then you have your North. Now, that's when you come into your Volta Congo. Your Volta Congo is starting with the Crew. That's the Northern Volta group. Crew, Gert, Salufo, Adamawa, Ubanji group, and Quake. Then you have your South Volta group, which is your Quay language. Then you have your Binu Congo languages, which is including now you pay close, and that's the reason why you need to look at that. Where it says South Volta group. All those groups are South Volta groups, starting with the Quay. But then there's a Binu Congo that start with, but it don't include the Quay languages. The South, the Binu Congo languages is starting with the Yoruba, Edo, Igbo, and Nupe, and Idome. That's your West Binu Congo. And then you start talking about your Bantoid cross languages. Start with your Platoids, and then you go into your Bantoid cross languages, cross river languages, Northern Bantoid, and also include the Tiv. And then you have your that's the Bantoid cross languages. Start with the Cross River. That's the Bantoid cross language. Start with the Cross River. And then you have your next is the Bantoid language. Starting with Northern Bantoid. Then you have your Southern Bantoid. That's what I was about the Tiv. Starting with the Tiv. Your Southern Bantoid is Jarawad, Jarawe. That's what the Southern Bantoid is. Tiv, Ecor, your grass fields languages. Takaroid. But then your Northern Bantoid is Dacoid and Mambiloid. And then you have your Takaroid and Jarawoid. But those are your Southern Bantoid language. Then you get into your Southern Bantoid, which is Bantu language. That's when they start talking about the Bidi and the Fang, Lingale, Gikuyu. So when you look at that, when you be on Wikipedia, when you see the Niger Congo language, scroll down where it said the Niger Congo language, the subgroups and number of speakers, that way you'll understand about the West Africans. And then you'll understand about the Bantu. Look at this. Look at the map, and it'll show you where it starts. The Volta Congo language. It starts with the Kru. Start with the Kru, the Gur, the Sanufo, and the Manway, Ubanjan group. See all these Volta Congo groups. That's the Bantu. That includes the Bantu. Uh, and then when you talk about your quarter farm branch, that's a branch. Then you talk about your Mandi branch. Then you talk about your Atlantic branch. Then you talk about your Dogon, that's a branch. Then you talk about your Ijoy branch. And then you talk about your Volta Congo language, Volta Congo. And then it'll start all these languages, including Bantu, but it didn't include quarter farm branch, Mandi branch, Atlantic branch, Dogon, Ijoy, but it includes the North Volta group, which is Kru, Gur, Sanufo, Adamanwe, Ubanjan group, Kwe. All those languages are related to the Bantu. Then you look on the map, you see where all the groups that we were talking about, like the Kru, the Gur, Sanufo, Adamanwe, Ubanjan group, the Kwe language. Then you'll look on the map, you'll see where they located at. That's where we were talking about the Bantu migrated from West Africa. So you can look up at that map where it said the Niger Congo language, the primary branch, the Volta Congo, that's your South Volta. And it's telling you right there the Bantu, Bantoid, other East Benue Congo, West Benue Congo, and Kwe. Then it says your North Volta group, Kru, Sanofo, Gur, and Manway. Then you look at the colors and it'll show you in West Africa where these groups are. Then you see your other primary branch, quarter farm branch, Mandi, Atlantic, and Dogon and Ijoy is telling you that these are the other primary branches, but these branches, South Volta and North Volta, have some, they have some relation. Then you have your other Niger Congo language. So when you're looking at the map, pay close attention to the map. That way you can make the connection with the languages in West Africa and in the Bantu. That the Bantu migrated from West Africa into the Bantu land. Okay, let's look on what the Kru. I'm looking at the map where the green at. That's around Ghana. Right. I was looking at the map. Now, okay, now I ain't enlarged. Okay, let's follow the map. Okay, South Volta. excuse me. Let's go to the North Volta. So everybody, we understand that when you say North Volta, the Volta groups, you have your North Volta and your South Volta. Let's go to the North Volta. The Kru is in green. So okay, around the Kru is around that color green. That's a kind of dark green. It's around Ghana and around the Ivory Coast. Then you have your Sanufo. It's a light green. Okay, it's showing you Sanufo. Can I get my map? Okay, so everybody understand about the Bantu and the West Africans because the North Volta and the South Volta. The North Volta is in West Africa. Then your South Volta is your Bantoids. We place some more emphasis today. We place more emphasis. That way, when we understand the linguistics, and when the linguists are putting everybody together, that's what they're telling you about the Volta group. The people that speak the Volta Congo. You have your North Volta group. In the North Volta group, the Kru, Sanufo, the Gur, Adamanwe, Ubungian. So you look on your map and you locate these people. You have your linguistic locations. Yeah, that's around Liberia, the Ivory Coast, Ghana, around Burkina Faso, around Togo and Benin. That's your North Volta. Because when you look on the map, you see all that green, see dark green, light green, all that green. That's the North Volta group. Then look down there, see where your South Volta is. There's a little green called the Quay. They got the Quay, a little green color. So you have to look on the map to locate where the Quay is. There's people where they're located at. That's in around Ghana, Ivory Coast, Togo, Benin, around that area, around that area. That's the Quay, around that area. Then you have your West Benu Congo, South Volta. It's like a lime green color. That's your that'll be around Nigeria. That'll be around Nigeria. That's exactly where it's at. It's in mostly Nigeria. West Benu Congo. That's Yoruba, Igbo. That's around that area. That's the West Benu Congo. And then you see East Benu, other East Benu Congo. Same location around that location. Around around Cameroon, around Central African Republic. Then you had your Bantoid, beside Bantu, you had the Bantoid. Yep. Around Cameroon, Central African Republic, around Gabon, Congo, and then you had your Bantu, uh, your Fang, your Congo, Lube, and Bandu, Ogun Bandu, Zulu, all this, Swahili. So we make sure that when we speak tonight, when we be on Wikipedia, let me get out this map here. And when it talks about the Volta Congo language, you pay close attention to the map. Look at the map. It says South Volta, North Volta. Then it says other primary branches. Kordofan, Mandi, Atlantic. And that includes, when you say Atlantic, that includes the Fule, the, the 4B include F equals 4B. but it's in the same color as the Atlantic. So you know the Atlantic group, the Wolof, and the Fule. That's your Atlantic. Then you got the which is the color here, where it says I Jordan and Dogon. It's like a turquoise looking color, and it's showing you on the map where around Mali. So let's go back over. So it's telling you right there on the map. Niger Congo language, primary branch, Volta Congo, South Volta, and North Volta. So when we talk about the Bantu, there's nothing excluded. There's no exclusion in the Niger Congo, like you some distant far like South Volta and North Volta are together. When you're looking at the map, you see Crew, Sanufo, Gur, and the map where you're bunching, that's your North Volta. When you see South Volta, Bantu, Bantoid, other East Benue Congo, West Benue Congo, Quay. Then it says other primary branches, Kordofan, Mandi, your Atlantic, that's, you know your Atlantic branch, that's your Wolof and your Fule, the Fulani, that's the Fulani. And then you have your others, your Ijord and your Dogon. So we today we put emphasis on, we making sure that we make the connection. When you say Niger Congo, and when you study linguistics, you can be that detailed. You can't be that detailed with linguistics and say North Volta and South Volta. And then when you talk about the Dogons and the Mandi, and when you talk about the Kordofans, and you talk about the Fulani and the Wolof, you can't be that detailed and then have some controversy and you trying to class all these groups. And that's very detailed. That's being very thorough. So, like I said, you need to get in contact with the West Africans. You need to get in contact with the Bantu and learn your culture. You need to learn your culture. Simple as that. You need to learn your culture. And when you go down here to where it said the Niger Congo language, subgroups and number of speakers, you need to understand what it's teaching you. You being taught the same thing. It said the Mandi branch, and they being very thorough, being very detailed. Bambare, Manike, Mende, Soniki, Dan, Jule, Mandinka, Capella, Susu. It's being very thorough. It's being very detailed. The Atlantic branch, the Fall, Dogon, Ijord. Then you have your North Volta group. See, it's telling you that right there. It's telling you North Volta group, but it's all up under the Volta Congo languages. Then you have your South Volta group, Quay, West Benue Congo, East Benue Congo, Bantoid cross languages, Bantoid languages, cross river, Northern Bantoid, Southern Bantoid. That's what I made the connection when I was looking at. I didn't catch it. I didn't pay no attention to it last week and the week before. I admit, but this week I started paying attention to it, and I kept saying "till." I looked at, and it caught my attention. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm looking at the Volta, and it just slipped my mind. It went right. It went right past me until I had to look again. So I said, today I'm gonna make sure I put emphasis. Then everybody else need to do the same thing. You need to pay attention to what you're looking at. It's telling you we on Wikipedia. It's telling you where it says Niger Congo language, South Volta, Bantu, Bantoid, besides Bantu, other East Benue Congo, West Benue Congo, and Quay. Then it's telling you the Northern Volta, the Crew, Sinufo, the Gur, Volta language, and the Manway Ubungian language. They tell you North Volta and South Volta are connected. They don't just say Volta, they tell you North Volta and South, but they keep telling you these are the Volta groups. And some of the northern Volta groups are in West Africa. And when you look on the map, the linguistics map is going to show you where they located at. You look at Ghana, look at Coast of Ivory, look at the Ivory Coast, skirting the Ivory Coast, look at Liberia, look at Burkina Faso, look at Togo and Benin. Look over there where it says, see your Mandi. The Mandi are located mostly in Senegal, Guinea, Gambia, Sierra Leone. That's where your Atlantic, the Wolo, and the Fulani. Now the Fulani, they migrate a lot and they spread across. Because you have to look at different maps. But the linguistic maps, and then you have to look at the map, the national, each country map. Then you have to put all these different groups of people where they located at, but they all Niger Congo. They all Niger Congo. But we need to make sure that when we looking at it, we need to make sure we make the connection because that's what the linguists have already done. They saying South Volta and North Volta. Then they saying other primary branches, but they all fall under Niger Congo, the Kordofan, the Mandi, the Atlantic, the others, I Jordan and Dogon. That's the reason why they be telling you that the Bantu migrated. The Bantu migrated from West Africa. And then when you see Bantu land, where it says Bantu land, the Bantu, that's the South Volta group. Now, okay, it's almost 4:30, but so today we're gonna spend our time making sure we get this emphasis on this today. Then we're gonna come back on tomorrow's video. We're gonna get back into slavery, and we're gonna continue our language. I'm not gonna put as much emphasis on the languages tomorrow, but I'm gonna put more emphasis on tomorrow's video on making sure that we emphasize uh, West African Bantu. That's the reason why. When you say North Volta and South Volta, when you say West African, the people that live in West Africa, the others, the Kordofan live in Sudan, but that's Niger Congo. The linguists, all the linguists keep saying the same thing, that this group in Sudan by the Nube Mountain. I'm gonna tell you, some of these groups, other groups, they migrate. Like the Mandi, when you do research on some of these groups, they migrated. Some of the other groups, they migrated. See, it's a lot of migration in the past. Some of these groups migrated from the Middle East, from Asia. Some people, when you do research, but the Kordofan, they over there, that's a group of people. There's Niger Congo, that's in Sudan. All the linguists keep saying the same thing. We got all these different Europeans, people from Asia, including all the African linguists. They keep saying that this group is a Niger Congo group. Now, how close, later, whatever, how they study in linguistics, the Kordofan group is classified as Niger Congo. The Mandi group is classified as Niger Congo. All the linguists, they can argue back and forth, but when they do research, they'll put Mandi with the Niger Congo. They won't even put Mandi with the Nilo-Saharan. They won't even put the Mandi over there with the Afro-Asiatic. What they'll try to do, they'll say that either the Kordofan, the Mandi, they're not Nilo-Saharan. They're not Afro-Asiatic. It's a possibility it could be another group. But what they'll do, they'll put Quarterfine, and Mandy with and the Dogon with Niger Congo. But what they all saying is South Volta and North Volta. There's no argument. There's no argument with North Volta and South Volta. They're all Volta. So on today's video, we making sure that we emphasize the North Volta and the South Volta. We make sure that there'll be no uh, discrepancies. There'll be no discrepancy. There'll be no confusion whatsoever. So when the people in the East, when we be talking about the Bantu living outside, like when we were talking about tip to tip and the Bantu, and we were talking about how the Swahili women over there, by the Ethiopia, being made to be slaves, and when we talking about Zanzibar, and when we talking about Zons, a, a term that the Afro-Asiatic used to refer to the Bantu people. When you say North Volta and South Volta, people are, that connection with the people that's living outside, like whose ancestors from the eastern coast of Africa, based on the slave trade, the Arab slave trade, and people were put in, were sent from the East African coast to Saudi Arabia, to West Asia, to Central Asia, to South Asia, to East and Far East Asia to be slaves, and their ancestors were Bantu. When you say North Volta and South Volta, you look over in West Africa, that's what you need to pay attention to. When you look over in Bantu land, look up there where it says North Volta, and you see the Kru languages, you see the Gur, you see Sanufo, you see Adamantwe, Ubunjian group. That's what they talking about. Volta, Congo. You go up there to the map where it said North Volta and South Volta. When you look over in West Africa, you look at Ghana, you look at Ivory Coast, you look over there in Togo, and you look over there in Benin, you look over in Nigeria, you look at Central African Republic, you look at Cameroon, you look over there Liberia. This is what the linguist is telling you. They're telling you Niger Congo language, the primary branch, Volta Congo. Bantu, Bantu beside me in your South Volta group. It's telling you Bantu. It's telling you the Bantu besides Bantu. It's telling you other East Binu Congo. It's telling you West Binu Congo. It's telling you Kwe. Who are the Kwe? What is the Kwe language? Your Kwe languages is your Akan, Ashanti, Iwi, Bali, Fon, Gay Dami, and Yin. So that's what the people in the East whose ancestors were Bantu, that's what they're paying attention to the Kwe. When you see Ghana, when you see Ivory Coast, when you see Liberia, when you look on the map, when you see Nigeria, when you see Central African Republic, when you see Cameroon, look on the map. And then when you see the other primary branch, when you see the Kordofan branch, when you look over there in Sudan in the Nubé Mountain, the Kordofan, the linguists not saying they're not no Saharan. They're not saying they're Afro-Asiatic. Some might say it's an independent group, but what they always say, we're going to put them over there with Niger Congo. Then they talk about the Mandi over here in Senegal, Sierra Leone, over here in Guinea-Bissau, Gambia. That's where all your Mandi. But then when you go online, when you talk about the Mandi, it said descended from the ancient Central Saharan people. what they tell me, a Central Saharan people. If you a Central Saharan people, that means you and then you over in West Africa, in Senegal, that's not Central Saharan. That's not Central Saharan. Central Saharan, that means over there in Sudan and not Chad. That's Central Saharan. If you say Senegal and you say the Mandi people living in Senegal, it's telling you right here. When you say prehistory, descended from ancient Central Saharan people. They migrated. It's telling you right here. It says that the Mandi groups are found in Benin, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Chad, the Gambia, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mali, Mauritania, Nigeria, Senegal, Sierra Leone. They were just telling me. People migrating. People were moving around. Another, let me see. Let's see. I'm still, let's see. It says here, now I'm on Encyclopedia Britannica. We talking about, we doing research on the Mandi people. It says Mandi, also called Mali or Mandingo, group of people of Western Africa, whose various Mandi languages form a branch of the Niger Congo language family. The Mandi are located primarily on the Savannah Plateau of the Western Sudan. Although small groups of Mandi origin whose members no longer exist, Mandi cultural traits are found scattered elsewhere, as in the tropical rainforests of Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Cote d'Ivoire. Some of the more well-known Mandi groups are the Bambari, Maliki, and Soniki. But but like I said on today's video, uh, we putting very extra emphasis on Niger Congo languages. Because when we looking at, like I said myself, when we speaking of Niger Congo, I've been reading the whole thing, but I never really just emphasized in North Volta and South Volta. But it got my attention when I was looking at the Nigerian map, and I kept seeing the T of people, and it was in brown. I was like, wait a minute, I don't know what I'm, you know, you know, that's how it got my attention. I'm sitting here reading it, but you know, sometimes stuff be right there in front of you, but you don't be necessarily putting emphasis on that. You be putting emphasis on something else. And then when I kept looking down here, and I kept scrolling down, and I kept looking at the map, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm looking over at this Nigerian map, and I keep seeing all this, you know, the Volta Congo, and I'm sitting there reading. I'm like, wait a minute, Southern Bantam. I looked up there. I'm like, wait a minute, I've been sitting here looking at the map, and it's telling me the Tia and the Abibo, they Bantu. That's the Volta Congo. I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm looking at over in this map. But see, that's the good thing about having a map, about having a linguistics map. It tells you where people are located. And then you'll be sitting there reading it, and then you'll be saying Niger Congo languages, subgroups and number speakers. Then you'll be talking about the primary branch, other primary branches, the Kordofan, the Mandi, the Atlantic, you know, the Atlantic group, that's the Wolof and the Fulani. Then you have your Ajor, and you have your Dogon. And then because it's telling you right here, the Atlantic branch, the Dogon, the Ajor, the Mandi, then you see all the Mandi, then you see your Kordofan branch. But see, the Mandi and the Kordofan, and when you do research on the Mandi, that's what it's telling you. The Mandi migrated. Everybody needs to make sure they understand when you see the Mandi people in Senegal, when you see the Mandi people in West Africa, in Senegal, Gambia, uh, uh, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea, when you see the Mandi people, and it's telling you that Central, when you look on the map, you see the Nubé Mountains, you see where the Kordofan at, that's Sudan. When you see Central Sahara, you see Chad. When you see, it says on the Southern Plateau, and we just got to read in the Encyclopedia Britannica. And when you see the Sudan, that's what they tell you. The Central Sahara on the Southern Plateau of Sudan, the Mandi migrated. They migrated they migrated all the way over to Senegal, Sierra Leone, Gambia, uh, Guinea-Bissau, Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia. They all over the place. They all throughout West Africa. Mali, and the Mandi, they the dominant group in Mali. You go to the map on Mali, you see the demographic. 50% of the people that live in Mali, they Mandi. 50% of the people that live in Mali are Mandi, and they migrated from Sudan. They migrated from over the Central Sahara. That's the other primary Niger Congo group. See, when you be looking at maps, you start to get an understanding, and then we live over here, all the African descendants of West Africa. When you say North Volta, South Volta, we see the connection. When you see all the Bantu people, we don't have this attitude like it's the Bantu and it's the people that can't, people in Ghana, they different. When you see Yaruba, when you see Igbo, what is that? That's your South Volta. Don't make yourself look ignorant in front of people. Don't make yourself look stupid in front of people. That's the reason why I'm putting all this emphasis on Niger Congo today, because I don't even want to make myself look ignorant when I'm sitting here looking at a map. and it's telling you North Volta and South Volta. And then you be sitting around and trying to make it sound like it's something different when these groups of people are connected. That's what the linguist is telling you. South Volta and North Volta. So that's when you talk about the Bantu people, it's telling you in the history of the Bantu that they migrated. Let's go to Bantu. It says in the history, we're on Wikipedia. When it said history, it said the origin and expansion. It said current scholarly understanding places the ancestral proto-Bantu homeland in West Africa, near the present-day southwestern border of Nigeria and Cameroon. It said in regards to Bantu land as a branch of the Niger Congo language. And it said that let me go back up here to the top where it's talking about Bantu peoples. In the second paragraph, it said between 25 to 3,000 years ago, speakers of the Proto-Bantu language group began a millennia-long series of migrations eastward from their homeland in West Africa at the border of eastern Nigeria and Cameroon. This Bantu expansion first introduced Bantu peoples to central, southern, and southeastern Africa regions that had previously been absent from the Proto-Bantu migrants. In the process, assimilated and or displaced a number of early inhabitants that they came across, including Khoisan populations in the south and Afro-Asiatic groups in the southeast. So the Bantu, they migrated from West Africa. They migrated at the border of eastern Nigeria and Cameroon. That's the reason why when you have your go back on real, the Niger Congo language, the North Volta and South Volta. North Volta and South Volta. When you look at the map of Nigeria, that's the reason why you see Yoruba, you see the Igbo, then you have your South Volta language, East Benu Congo, South Bantu, others, North Bantu, Cross River, Plateau. I got the map right here. We're gonna make sure that everybody is not confused when you see the map of Nigeria. Now look over here where it says Niger Congo languages, and it says South Volta languages, East Benu Congo, South Bantu, Bantu, others, North Bantu, Cross River, Plateau. Then it said West Benu Congo, Yoruba, what did it say? Yoruba, Edo, and Igbo. It said West Benu Congo, but what do it fall upon? South Volta. Then you see your North Volta like Adamawa, Ubangi, and Gur. Look at the colors. Then you see your Ijoa. It's in blue right there. You see your Ijoa? It says Izon. But that's a North Volta group. Excuse me. It's Then you see your Atlantic language. Then you have your Mandi language, your Ijoy language. But then you have your North Volta language. That's what that is. The North Volta language, your Adamawa, your Bunji, and your Gur languages. Then you see your South Volta on the Nigeria map. On the Nigeria map. That's what I want you to look at. Look at the Nigeria map and look what's in Nigeria. When you say South Volta, and then you see East Binu Congo, and look at the colors. You see Bantu and others. You see North Bantu. You see Cross River. You see Plateau. Then you see your West Binu Congo. Look at Yoruba. You see Edo. You see Igbo. Look at the colors. Make sure you pay attention to the Nigeria map for now, for Niger Congo, not just. I know we've been talking about how Boko Haram up here with the hot say up here, and then they've been blowing up. They had a big explosion this week, and this where it was it. You see where it says, where it's not showing up, but it was a place called Baga, Baga. It was right up here in the Kanuri, around the Nile Sahara. That's what the Kanuri is. That's the Nile Sahara. And then they just had a big explosion. Boko Haram just blew up a big explosion again. And but this is what they did to it. And that's where the Nile Sahara is located. And then you see your Afro-Asiatic, your Hase. But also you see some of your Fule, some of your Niger Congo people that's Fule. They live up in this area. But what we emphasizing today, we emphasize the Niger Congo, and we making sure we don't make the mistake making ourselves look ignorant when they're sitting there telling you South Volta and North Volta on the Nigeria map. And then on the African languages map, yeah, and it's on the same map. It's got a Niger Congo languages map, and we didn't pay emphasis. We were sitting here looking at it, and it's telling you South Volta and North Volta. Then you see other primary branches, but they Niger Congo, Kordofan, Mandi, Atlantic. Then you see your Ijoy and Dogon. And then you know other African languages that are not related to Niger Congo. That's the Khoisan, two different groups. That's the Click consonant language, the Khoi and the San, down there by Botswana and Namibia. And then you have your Austronesian over there on the Madagascar island of Madagascar. But today I want to make sure that we don't have that discrepancy and that we don't have that misunderstanding when we're trying to get the people that's in the Western Hemisphere whose ancestors were sent from the continent of Africa, from the West African coast, to be slaves. All of us that's living here in the Western Hemisphere, we don't make that mistake when we know the North Volta and the South Volta. When you look in West Africa, and when you're looking at the map, it's telling you. Look at the map. What the other map is? Yeah, this the one. Yeah, this the one. This one right here. It's right next to the Nigeria map. It's telling you Niger Congo languages. You see that? It's telling you Niger Congo language. What do you see? You see South Volta and you see North Volta. And it's telling you see them colors? They giving you the location of the North Volta and the South Volta. Make sure we don't make that mistake. You see that in West Africa? You see all that green? That's North Volta. That's West Africa. You see Ghana? You see the African nation of Ghana. You see the African nation of Ivory Coast. You see Liberia. You see Burkina Faso. You see Benin. You see Togo. That's North Volta. Then you see your South Volta. Look over there in Nigeria. You see the Cross River. You see the Plateau. You see all that. That's what they talking about in Nigeria. When you say Yoruba, you say Igbo. Look over there. Look again where it says South Volta and North Volta. See, that's not a separation. That's a connection. See, that's what they tell you about the Bantu. Then you see a Mandi way over there in Senegal, way over there in Gambia. Where do they migrate from? Make sure you know about the Wolo. You see the other primary groups. Don't make that mistake. Make sure you know the history of Niger Congo. Make sure you know the history of all the Niger Congo. Pay attention to the map. Pay attention to the maps and get an understanding. So all those whose ancestors, when we be talking about tip through tip, there's no separation. So when the people see North Volta and South Volta, and when we be talking about tip through tip, selling slaves, being a slave trader, and all those people in the Great Lakes area, and when we be talking about the Bantu women being chattel slaves for the Ethiopians and for the Somalians, the people in West Africa know who the Bantu people are. When they talk about the Bantu women, the people in Ghana, the people in the Ivory Coast, they know what that means. When you say Bantu, they gonna respond. When you hear and the Mandi people gonna respond, the Atlantic people gonna respond, the people that's Kordofan gonna respond, but the people that's living right there in Nigeria, the Yoruba, the Igbo, when you hear about the women, the Bantu women, they gonna respond. It's a reason, because when you say North Volta, when you say South Volta, they know what it means when you say Bantu, because the Bantu migrated from West Africa. When you see all that Bantu land, all this South Bantu, when you see the South Bantu, that's what they telling you. The Bantu migrated from West Africa. So all of the people that's living in West Asia, South Asia, Central Asia, East Asia, Far East Asia, and your ancestors were Bantu, your ancestors were West African. When we talk about South Volta, we talk about North Volta, we talk about the other primary groups, the Mandi, we talk about the Atlantic, we talking about the Kordofan. We know who we talking about. We know exactly what we're talking about in West Africa. We know exactly what we're talking about when we say Bantu. We know that we look at the map. We look at the map. And when we talk about all the people down in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, and when you tell all the Dominicans, when you tell all the Haitians that they are Bantu, when you tell the Cubans that they are Bantu, and when we talk about North Volta and South Volta, they won't be confused and assume that we just talking about Cameroon, Central African Republic. They'll look over there in Ghana. They're going to look over there in Ivory Coast. They're going to look over there in Liberia. They're going to look over there in Nigeria. When you see Yoruba, you see Igbo. When you see Tia, you see the Nupe. They're going to know exactly who you're talking about. They're going to know exactly when you talk about the African people living in Canada. There was no slave ship that went to Canada. The people that are African Canadians living in Canada. When you say North Volta, when you say South Volta, Niger Congo, like they know exactly what you're talking about. When you say the North Volta, they know exactly what you're talking about. They'll look on the map and they'll show it to you. They'll say Yoruba, they'll say Igbo, they'll say the Akan. They'll tell you about the people that's in Ghana. They're going to tell you about the people that's in the Ivory Coast. They're going to tell you about the people that's Gur. You know who the Gur people are that's in Liberia. See, and they also know about the Mandi people migrating from Central Sahara, they know they can't, they migrate, they end up way over there in Senegal. The Mandi, when you talk about the quarter farm, the African Canadians, they know about the quarter farm. They know exactly what I'm talking about. They know exactly what you're talking about. You say the quarter farm, they know that the linguists are not saying that they're Nilo-Saharan. The linguists are not saying that they're Afro-Asian. What they will say, someone will say there's an independent branch, just like Nilo-Saharan, like Afro-Asian. They'll say that. Someone will. But they won't say that the quarter farm is a Nilo-Saharan. They won't say that. They won't say that the quarter farm is an Afro-Asiatic. They won't say that. They'll always say they either independent or they Niger Congo. They'll say that about the Dogon. They'll say that about the Mandi. They'll say that about the quarter farm. That's what they'll say there. They won't never say they Nilo-Saharan. They won't say that the other primary branches are Afro-Asiatic. That's what the linguists ain't gonna say. You don't hear none of the linguists saying that the other primary branches are Afro-Asiatic or that they are Nilo-Saharan. They either say they're independent, like the core saying. They'll say that. They'll say that like they just like the core saying, some other group, or they'll put them over there with Niger Congo. That's what the linguists are saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's what the linguists say. So the African Canadians, they know when you say Niger Congo and when you say South Volta, North Volta. When you look at the map in Nigeria, you see Igbo, Yoruba. Make sure you look at the map and pay attention to what it's telling you. When you see Niger Congo languages, you see South Volta. This is Nigeria. This is the Nigeria map. And it's telling you East Benue Congo. It says South Volta. And when you say South Volta, you see East Benue Congo and West Benue Congo. Then you see the North Volta group. That's what they're telling you. This is what this map is telling you. It's telling you the South Volta languages, East Benue Congo. Then you look over there and it's telling you West Benue Congo. And who is the West Benue Congo? Yoruba, Edo, Igbo. Who is the South Volta language? East Benue Congo. Bantu. You hear that? Then you see your North Volta language. Adamawa, Ubangi, and Gur. Those are your North Volta. That's in Nigeria. That's in the African nation of Nigeria. Look at the map, and then that way it'll be clear. When you see this map and it's telling you Niger Congo languages, and you see the primary branch, Volta Congo, you see it says South Volta, South Bantu, Bantu beside Bantu, other East Benue Congo, then it says West Benue Congo. Look at the color. Pay attention to the color and look on the map. Then look at North Volta. Look at the color. It said Kru. It said Sunufo. It said Gur. Then it said Adamawa. Look at the color and then look at the map. Then it says other primary branches. Kordofan, Mandi, and Atlantic. And then it said also, when I did the map, it kind of cut it off. But it said others, the Ijoy and the Dogon. Those are your other primary branches. Those are your other primary branches of Niger Congo. Then it tell you that the core saying is a no Niger Congo. They are not Niger Congo. Then you also know that on the island of Madagascar, that's your Austronesian. So on today's video, we're putting heavy emphasis so everybody in the Western Hemisphere that is descended from West Africa. They descended South Volta and North Volta. And then your other primary branch, your Kordofan, your Mandi, your Atlantic, your Ijoy, your Dogon, your ancestors were sent to the Western Hemisphere to be slaves. Then that's what it means. It's not a separation. It's not something that's different. We all connected. We all related. That's what it means, North Volta and South Volta. Then it also means that the other primary branch, the Kordofan, the Mandi, the Atlantic, the Ijoy, the Dogon, we all related. We related. We're not different. We're not separate. We're not different. We're not different. We're not Nilo-Saharan. We're not Afro-Asiatic. We're Niger Congo. So all the Niger Congo whose ancestors were descended from East Africa, the Bantu. When you hear this video today, when you hear today's video, that heavy emphasis that's being placed on Niger Congo, that way we be on looking at the map. And when you study linguistics, and when you get an understanding of why the linguist is putting all these people in this category, in this family, in this language family, and then you got people who are all around who study linguistics, and you keep seeing them do the same thing. You see South Volta and North Volta. That's what you see. That's what you see. Here it is, 2015. It's 2015. So all those in the East who are descended from East African ancestry, that's what they'll understand. They'll look at the map. They'll see North Volta. You'll see South Volta. And when you see West Africa, and when you see Southern, Central and Southern Africa, when you see the understanding of the North Volta and South Volta, and when you see Nigeria, you see the map, the Nigerian map. It's telling you the same thing. It's telling you Niger Congo languages. It's telling you South Volta languages, and it's telling you the North Volta languages in Nigeria. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut today's video off, and I'm not gonna put that much emphasis on tomorrow's video, but I'm gonna put heavy emphasis on the slave trade, because on today's video we put heavy emphasis. So all of us in the Western Hemisphere, we will not make that mistake. We won't make ourselves look ignorant. We understand what the linguists, including our own language, when they class all these languages, the Afro-Asiatic language, the Nilo-Saharan language, when they classify all the Khoi, San, two different groups of people. Some are moribund, some are extinct. Understand? And when you see all the Austronesians, like on the island of Madagascar, off the African coast, the linguists are classifying all these people around the world, and even some ancient extinct languages. But all of us that are living today, and our ancestors are from sub-Saharan Africa. When we talk about West Africa, we talk about Bantu land. All of us in the African diaspora living outside of Africa, we don't see any difference. When you say Niger Congo, when you say North Volta, you say South Volta, you say Bantu, you say West African, the Mandi don't get insulted because you say Bantu. They don't be insulted. The Kordofan don't be insulted. The Atlantic, the Wolof, and the Fulani, they don't be insulted. Nobody's insulted. You know what I'm saying? The Ijoy, the Dogon, they don't be insulted. They know exactly what you're saying. When you say South Bolton, North Bolton, what insulting them, what they consider to be an insult is when you ignorant, when you show your ignorance of linguistics, is when you don't recognize what the linguist is telling you, that the Niger Congo are connected. When you say the Mandi, when you say the Atlantic, which is the which is the man, which is the when you say the Kordofan, when you say the Atlantic, which is the Wolof and the Fulani, that's what make them, that what they consider to be an insult. That what they can, you make yourself sound ignorant. See, when you say the Ijo or the Dogon, that will get them in a state of, get them, make yourself sound ignorant. You understand? Because people are studying linguistics all around the world, but it's our own language, Niger Congo language, that is telling you North Bolt and South Bolt. That will make them look at you in a way, you stupid, you ignorant. When you see the Mandi people, they migrated from Senegal, they migrated from Central Sahara, they migrated from Sudan. The Mandi people, they don't understand your stupidity, your ignorance. See, you have to do research on the other primary branches. And then because we Niger Congo, so all of us in the Western Hemisphere, the Jamaicans, the Cubans, all the people the Dominicans, the Haitians, when you say Bantu, you don't exclude the North Bolton. You have to understand the South Bolton and North Bolton. You have to understand the Bantu migrated. You have to understand the history of the Atlantic group. You have to understand the history of the Mandi group. You have to understand the history of the Kordofan. You have to understand the history of the Dogon. You have to understand the history of all Niger Congo. Don't make yourself look ignorant. And again, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live here in the city of Memphis, the state of Tennessee, the county of Shelby. I want to thank all my fans, my supporters for your continued encouragement and support. And I'm going to continue to work on my music. And like I say, school started back this semester. I'm in my second year at Monroe College Online. I'm pursuing my associate's degree, studying business administration with concentration in marketing. This is the winter semester. Right now I'm in composition and literature, and I'm back in my IT class. And but also I want all my fans, my support, know that I already contacted my attorney, and One Sound Studio did not get away with stealing not one penny from me. And also Wicked Film, they didn't get away with whoever this guy that I gave $100 down payment on a music video. He didn't get away. So I'm in contact with my attorney. My attorney is working. So like I said, on tomorrow's video, we're gonna put heavy emphasis on the slave trade. Until then, you take care of yourself, and I wish each and every one of you the best. And again, Happy New Year to everybody.